So we're walking over to this condo and see. Well, so tapa ako.
Does that go in? The
Huh?
strip?
Yeah, it goes in. Everything goes in. That's what she said.
Oh god.
God. And so for this Sunday morning edition of my vlog, I have Joe, my Comic-Con buddy for several Comic-Con since New York Comic-Con 2011. So nakapag New York na kami, San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm just catching up with him over coffee and we can talk about anything geeky and you know what's the connection between the ad industry and geeks here sa Pilipinas. Alright? So I'm with Joe. We just got some coffee, a cup of Joe.
Wow, really? You went there?
I went there. So we're walking over to this condo and see. Well, so tapa ako.
Does that go in? The
Huh?
strip?
Yeah, it goes in. Everything goes in. That's what she said.
Oh god.
God, that's not. But yeah, so we're gonna check out whatever stuff we have at the condo. We're gonna talk about how we ended up being such a big fan of The Flash. So we're here at Joe's condo and his toy collection. Can you give us a rundown of what you have?
Well, this is just part of my collection from back home. You
Okay.
went to my house in San Juan.
Oo nga.
The boxes. So, I recently set up some Justice League animated series
Okay.
in the mid 2000s. It's really, I thought, one of the most fun series.
Nice.
And here I have a few mini-mates. That's the one I really collect a lot.
Predator.
Mini-mates.
Mini-mates. Okay.
So, yeah. I should, during my free time I should, it's the Green Lantern
Corps. Lantern Corps ka.
in the Star Trek Bridge.
That's so random.
And I have the Watchmen in the Hall of Justice.
That's so random.
Kasi kind of like shooting these things.
Oo.
I have an Instagram account just for my mini-mate photos.
Nice. Okay. We'll plug that
Right here.
Yeah. There. Yeah.
Alright, so you check it. And over there you have all the Flash stuff because that's, they really collect, it's mostly Flash stuff.
Oo nga.
But I have, of course, the Jollibee Funko.
Which you lined up for, no?
I lined up for it and I was the last person
To get it.
To get in line.
Nice.
The person behind me was unfortunate. I was
Hazel.
fortunate enough because I got the last.
Oh my god, he was like, no!
Yeah.
When did you start collecting all this stuff?
I think when we were all kids, we were collecting all of these.
Naman,
stuff.
yeah.
Then I kind of outgrew them for a while in college. And then when I was still in Leo Burnett in the late 90s, early 2000s, some of my office mates were collecting this stuff and I got hooked again.
I see. Okay.
Nahawa ako sa ano. I think it's the start of Marvel Legends and DC Direct. That's when I started getting into this stuff again.
Seems to be such a common thing, no? Well, sa latest sa mga sa cubicles ng mga art directors, especially creatives in ad agencies, to always have a certain toy collection.
Yes, actually.
Diba? Parang it's like your badge, it's like your parang trademark in your spot na sa'yo yun eh.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
My boss calls them manika.
ay mga manika.
Mga manika, action figures. Action figures.
Diba? We correct the term, action figures.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, what's the phenomena behind it? Why do creatives have a toy
I
collection?
think we're all just nerds.
that's a given. We're all nerds. We're all geeks.
The vast majority of us working there, are into one form of geekery or another. From games, or sports, or my fellow ECP actually has a whole table full of McFarlane basketball figures.
Okay.
And then I have pretty much Flash stuff and
Okay.
some stuff around my desk as well.
So pang
I have all the prints that you gave me.
nice.
From
Nice.
the one that we did, Green Lantern.
Nice, tama. Okay, yeah. So parang it seems normal for a creative to have some sort of obsession or to have some sort of geekery happening. Parang if you don't have one, parang you're not the normal.
Everybody manifests in many different ways.
Oh, man.
So you have office mates who are actually cosplayers. We actually have coworkers who are actually in the comic book industry as well.
Oh, yeah. So I was about to go to that. So it's such a unique thing. I find it here na there's a strong connection between advertising and mostly creatives who do comics on the side. Nakikita ko sila sa mga conventions, especially sa Bayanihan Center, and they have their own tables, sila JV and all.
Comic-Con,
Sila Russell,
Yeah.
they have their own stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, how did that start? Or how, I mean, is there a natural affinity
I
for that?
don't know where it started. I do know that there are a lot of guys within the advertising industry who have ties to the comic book industry as well, to the comic book. And that's just not true here in the Philippines, actually true around the world mostly.
Nice,
I think,
okay.
So the best example I can take, I'm sure there are more current examples, but for example, Alex Ross actually, famous Alex Ross, who did Geeks and Coffee. He used to work with Leo Burnett in Chicago.
Wow.
And I think even see the Neil Adams way back. I think they were in agency. They did some agency work as well. And you can just go through the list and you'll find at some point in time whether it's an actual creative or storyboard artist. So you see them actually. You see a lot of them actually. Pretty much. Kumbaga playing. I guess playing
both hats.
fields.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's because of the medium you're doing, as a creative, you're doing storyboards, you're doing, and comics became a natural gravitation in terms of medium, I guess. No? How did Flash came about? Why did you start collecting Flash?
No, when I was a kid, actually, the first action figure I saved up for was the Flash. I'm not really the fastest guy around, but
What was your favorite story arc for the Flash?
My favorite one was actually Mark Waid's The Return of Barry Allen in the 90s.
Okay.
What happened there was, I think, at the time, because everybody knows Barry Allen now because of the TV series.
Yes, exactly.
At the time, I think it was after the Crisis on Infinite Earths series in the 80s, where Barry Allen had died, and then they brought him back.
Okay.
It looked like they brought him back, I guess. I'm still not gonna say share spoiler. It's 20 years. The story's over 20 years.
It's 20 years. Okay na yan. I mean, ang spoiler threshold for most movies, sabihin natin 1 week na or something, diba?
So, well, he's back now anyway. So back then, they pretended to bring him back, but it turned out it was actually the Reverse Flash.
Okay.
That they brought back, not Barry Allen. So Wally West was the Flash at that time, in the 90s, and he was actually doing very well at that time. And they brought him back because it was very well written. It really defined, I think, the character of Flash for that era. And as a added trivia for Filipino fans, the artist there, Greg LaRocque. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. He was actually living in the Philippines at the time while he was doing the work.
Okay.
So if you actually read the entire series, the entire run actually, Mark Waid, Greg LaRocque, you would actually see little callbacks to the. I mean, now we all, because now we have social media to call it out.
Yes.
I think recently there was the Justice League was in EDSA. I think recently when Wonder Woman was fighting Darkseid on EDSA. I think recently. But wait, I can't remember.
Story artist nun. Galing.
Other Filipinos kasi in the comic book world. But back then, si Greg LaRocque, he was living here. So far, he was living here, and he would put little touches, like he had a war jacket that had the Philippine flag, and it's accurate because it was upside down, the red was on top.
Galing.
And then the headlines in the newspapers were about the Philippines. So just little nuances in the panels if you look hard enough. And then the coolest thing was actually one of the most crucial moments there. You see Wally West holding Jay Garrick's helmet after this big climactic scene. He's doing a classic, standing in front of the splash page, and you see the perspective. You see Jollibee.
I think lumilipad.
Well, there's all there, and you see a Jollibee fast food joint actually between his legs, and while all the people are there, so you can actually Jollibee actually appeared in DC Comics in the early 90s.
Galing, ang galing.
Ang pa niya ibang branches doon. So
ang galing, ang kulit.
So actually that was a cool touch that he had there.
Okay. We've been seeing a lot of the movies na nangyayari between MCU, DCEU, and all that. Given the chance, how would you write DCEU?
I can't share it because my former partner JV Valiones of JWD, I have this entire
debatable thing, but
we have this entire list of things we would do if we were in charge of MCU or DCEU. And we still hold out hope that one day we'll end up in Hollywood writing it. So we don't want to share it. I do know that we We think that we're arrogant enough to think we would have done a better Justice League movie just between the two of us.
Oh, yun.
But that's a low bar. Sorry, I mean, I'm a big fan, but it's a low bar.
But I mean, you approach kasi ng mga movies, I mean, in the MCU, they were doing individual movies and then they eventually put it together in the Avengers.
Yes. That was, I think, would have been a better... well, I guess that's debatable. Depends on
It's
how...
really debatable, eh. Oh, yeah.
Because you could have done it nicely if... I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy started off as a team.
Oh, team naman talaga sila. Oh, tama.
So you can actually do it both ways. It's just that it's how you... It's in the execution. So, because I think that's what they tried when they had Green Lantern. It didn't work.
Oo nga eh.
Remember when I re-edited Green Lantern? I actually took the entire movie and re-edited it the way I would have done it. I never uploaded it though.
You know, for me, I know a lot of people bashed the Green Lantern movie. I did find it entertaining personally.
I thought it wasn't as bad as people want.
Yun na nga eh.
I wouldn't say it's great. I just thought it's not as bad as people think.
Like we said, there's a good connection between advertising here and the comic book industry, to the point that we actually have several art directors who are actively in advertising working on their own titles.
That's
diba?
correct, yeah.
Oo, so, I mean, for me, my pop culture favorite would have been sila Budget.
Budget, and of course, everybody knows Trece.
Everybody knows Trece if you're in the local
Here's a little bit of trivia. When Budget was still with us at McCann, and this is just by sheer coincidence, his parking slot number was number 13.
Wow!
So
meant to be.
So yeah, it was tough to park. It was a really
galing.
It's actually a bad slot because he has to go
around
move his car. But at the same time, it's the best slot for him because he's budget
number 13. Number 13, and the character's Trece. Galing, ang galing.
It's an interesting bit of useless information.
No.
But Budget Tan, of course, is now with Lego.
Galing.
With Ian Santamaria, also formerly of McCann and other agencies. And he works with, I think he works with Mervin.
To Mervin din, Ang ganda nga ng yung mga parang, I don't know if it's, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, sila Ian, di ba they used to have these pang creative tests. Bibigyan sila ng Lego set, and then come up with 7 different ways of creating something out of it, aside from what it's meant to be. Ang galing nga eh.
I think it's a lesson to everyone. If you want to work in Lego, start with comic books.
You see the precedent eh.
And who said comic books wouldn't pay off, right?
I remembered, being told of, di ko alam kung tita ko, parents ko, but yung being told of by an older generation na gastos ng parents sa comics. Mahal dyan. But lo and behold, 20, 30 years after, it's the norm. Diba? So, who are the other creators pa na
I think there's Russ Molina.
Si Russ, oo.
And si Jaime Fabricas. Russ does one of the things I really like. We're getting old, I keep forgetting.
60 something.
That's the one, yeah. 66.
66, tama.
The premise is pretty much the guy. We always see all of these superhero stories like Spider-Man's a teenager, Batman's in Batman. You see all these guys. They all get it. Somehow you have to be in your 20s or your teens to get superpowers.
It's like a routine in Japan. For example, anime na dapat teenager sila.
Teenager, and then
si Russ broke the mold.
Brilliant idea that I'm sorry about Russ's partner. I can't remember his name right now.
We'll put it here, so plug it here sa captions.
Lakas nila sa akin, so yun lang. Kasi Russ Molina, and they did 66. I think it's Ian.
Ian ba yun?
Sorry, Ian. So 66.
Pero ang ganda ng premise.
The premise is basically the guy gets his powers when he is 66 years old. He's retirement age.
Senior.
And that's when he gets his powers. So that's actually, I haven't seen any
premise.
American comic
na ganun yung premise.
Yeah, so I think it's a very unique. That's probably the most unique take I've seen.
It's a unique thing. At ang ganda ng conflict niya because you're technically a senior citizen and you're not, you're past your prime and that you get all these powers. What do you do?
Yeah.
Diba? And
but I think that's just a testament to the fact that look at the job description that we have. We're called the creative department.
Yeah.
So it's a bit awkward that you have an adjective as your but creative.
Creative.
But that's the thing. It's called creative department. And actually, you have people like Ross and people like Bunch to really I think if you were asking earlier, ano yung connection ng advertising? I think at the end of the day, it's just your hunger for creativity. So if it's other people's creativity or a creative outlet, I think that's where a lot of guys within my own team actually. I'm lucky enough to have guys like Ace Enriquez.
Tama.
Ace Enriquez does, but
Got to work with these also.
yeah. And Karen Francisco currently near me, I can't pronounce it.
Okay.
Both very, very good art directors, and they've got stuff published as well.
Galing.
And then you have guys like a former teammate of mine, JB, who does part of work during APCC.
Tama, may booth nga sila JB doon, I get to see it also.
Yeah. So, and all these guys, I know that a lot of the guys you work with when you do your
cosplay shoots, you also
are advertising
guys. So it's an interesting take at it kasi it's always good to tandem with an art director when you're coming up with these pieces, especially the ones na
or copywriter.
Copywriter,
Just standing up for the.
There you go. Who have this penchant or talagang obsession for comics. So that's my little vlog for today. So a slow Sunday morning with Mr. Joe D and showing off his collection, his Flash stuff, and talking about comics.
There's no Flash stuff. There's way over there.
It's way upstairs. Naputol siya.
Yeah, it's getting on.
Yeah. I think I should title this, Geeks Walking Around Getting Coffee.
You know who's a really big Flash fan? I think you should have him on your show. Glenn Mark.
Si Glenn Mark, of course. Tama si Glenn Mark.
Biggest Flash fan in the Philippines.
Exactly.
And he's the guy who actually dresses up as the Flash.
Oh
as a
naman.
cosplayer.
Oh naman.
And I think if you really want to talk about...
We should have Glenn Mark here.
Yeah.
Diba? It's already a shout out to Glenn Mark. So let's do something soon. Yeah, thanks so much, Joe, for the time. So yes, I'll see you guys on my next vlog.